Hello there, sweetlings. I have returned to haunt your dreams with yet another chilling tale. This one is about how sometimes legends can be made when you least expect it. This is the tale of the Salt and Pepper Lady. Enjoy. It would seem that all cities, even small towns, have their own ghost stories and urban legends. Living in Devine, Texas for 5 years, I have always heard about the Salt and Pepper Lady of the Devine Projects. Friends would speak of their experiences with this very strange and disturbing specter. If you grew up in the Devine Projects, your parents wouldn't allow you to be outside whatsoever after dark, which was less due to the gangs and the drug problems, and more out of fear of the Salt and Pepper Lady. There were the usual problems, as with every low-income residential slum: gangs, drugs, domestic violence, pedophiles. It wasn't the worst of all the projects, but crime was still present. Local police were there often, for the usual reasons you would expect from a housing project: raids, domestic violence calls, and even the occasional murder. Somewhere in the ballpark of around 30 years ago, there lived an elderly resident of the Devine Projects known simply as Mona. She was a bitter, nasty, mentally unstable, and disturbed lady. Kind of sounds like my mother. Most of all, she was lonely. Nobody could ever recall friends or family ever stopping by to visit her, so it was assumed that she was all alone in the world. She would yell at the children who played too close to her window and front door. She would run them off, sometimes saying things about their parents burning in hell and about being sinners. Mona was notorious for walking outside nude when the mood struck her. Sometimes she would approach the young men hanging out and proposition them. Usually they ran her off or scattered away from her, avoiding her altogether. She was also known to knock on random doors late at night, asking to borrow some salt and pepper. This was probably the most disturbing quirk of all. She would knock and knock, sometimes for 10 minutes. Most people didn't answer the door. However, when they did, she had this creepy smile on her face, her teeth showing, long, stringy gray hair, wrinkled skin, and big blue eyes. She looked like something out of a nightmare. If you wanted her to go away, you had to give her some salt and pepper. Then she left you alone. In time, though, residents became used to Mona's eccentric antics, as disturbing as they were. She was just another oddity of the Devine Projects. In time, people began to notice that she wasn't screaming at the kids, walking around nude, or knocking on doors late at night. When rent was due, Mona had not paid on time as she normally did. One cold January morning, the landlord went over to her apartment to collect. After no answer, he let himself in with his own key. Inside, he found Mona, submerged in her bathtub. The water was crimson red, as she had slit her own wrists. However, the most unnerving sight was that she had also decided to pluck her eyes out. She had also defecated in the bathtub, likely as she approached death. The smell was very intense and could gag a maggot. There was a note left on the bathroom counter. I am sick and tired of this world and all the filth, lies and deceits and sinners in it. This place needs to be punished. All I ever wanted here was a friend. You were all too good to talk to me. You should all burn for it. I am leaving this world to join my son Hank and husband Jim in the afterlife. First,
There are some things that I need to tend to beforehand. You're all scum, not fit to eat my shit. I'll be seeing you all soon. Ramona Osterberg.
When the coroner removed Mona, the populace of the projects curiously gathered outside. The general mood that day was one of relief. Ding dong, the witch is dead was to be sung by bratty children throughout the projects over the next few days. After about a week, the strange happenings began again. People began to report a woman knocking on their doors late at night, asking for salt and pepper. Mona was also said to be spotted walking around nude in the complex in the wee hours. Some even said she was seen walking through apartments in the same state as which she expired, eye sockets empty where her big blue eyes had once stared from. Being that the projects were mostly occupied by poor, superstitious Mexican families, a growing concern and fear caused a meeting. They had all agreed to bring in a curandera, Mexican folk healer who also deals with the paranormal world, to come and cleanse the housing projects, and to rid them of Mona once and for all. As new tenants move in, the frequency of Mona sightings began to dissipate. However, she can still be spotted walking disfigured and grotesque around the projects after midnight. She still knocks on doors once in a while, asking for salt and pepper, and she can still be seen, albeit rarely, inside apartments and walking around with empty eye sockets. She still appears in the nightmares of frightened children and anyone who lives the wrong kind of life, a life Mona would disapprove of. She is meant now as a warning. Go down the wrong path, and the salt and pepper lady will come to you. Needless to say, crime is way down in the Divine Projects. The police joke around saying that Mona is an honorary Divine police officer, being as she keeps the criminal element there in check. This is a real urban legend I grew up with when I lived in Divine. The projects still stand. I haven't been back there in 18 years, but I occasionally talk to friends from there on Facebook. I've asked if Mona is still seen around the old projects, and they say that she is. Ah, wasn't that an amazing tale? It just makes me tingle in all the right places. Anyway, if you want to see more of me, give suggestions, or even submit your own tale of horror, feel free to follow me on Tumblr with the link below. Also, please press that like button and subscribe. I would hate to hear that anything happened to you. Until next time, sweetlings, good night.